Hey guys, it's Bina, and today I want to do a quick update with the build and where I think I'm going with this. I decided to go with a massive AoE setup. After playing for a little while in the end game, doing some breaches, I figured that even though the clear seems really good, I always found myself wanting more, and I decided to go with a massive AoE setup, which is not only good for clear, but also defensively, since Explosive Shot kind of knocks back enemies whenever they get hit by it. Enemies are constantly knocked back, and you just full clear the entire screen. It just really feels good. Now, another thing that came to my mind was that the single target was kind of lacking, and I first tried with Hammer of the Gods on a weapon swap, equipping a two-handed mace in your second weapon slot, and then having a second passive tree with the weapon swap points that you can have, which is a new thing in Path of Exile 2, and it felt okay, but also felt kind of clunky. So the clunkiness comes from Hammer of the Gods has a very, very slow cast time. When you're using it, your character kind of starts moving very slowly. It takes, I don't know, takes a little while before it starts falling down. And sometimes if you miss your shot, then you just miss your DPS window completely. So while I think this might be okay, and this might be a viable way to deal with single target, I think there is a better way. So if you want to look a little bit more into the Hammer of the Gods setup, I will link to you guys Volka's video, which he did an updated version for Hammer of the Gods with a passive tree and everything. So the main idea is going to Avatar of Fire and using Hammer of the Gods as Ignite to be your main single target damage dealing ability. So you put down the hammer, it does a big hit, also does a big ignite. So the link is down below. But then I wanted to explore another avenue. I wanted to explore with Shock Burst rounds. And funnily enough, this very same day, Palsaron released a video where he tests a setup, which I find to be very, very interesting. And I will be exploring that setup as well. So going with Shock Burst rounds as your single target ability while giving away Avatar of Fire. And he is also speccing into the mostly the ranger section of the tree more than the mercenary section. That is something that I'm going to explore. So my findings are that AoE certainly does help a lot with just general mapping, which I did not have a problem until I was much later in maps in tier 14, 15, 16, 17. When you're giving the monsters extra levels and then you're running tier 14 or 15s. I haven't ran tier 16s yet, but a tier 15 with 2 extra level feels very dangerous. What can keep you out of danger? Mostly is killing them faster than they can kill you. Because getting tanky right now on the Ranger Ascendancy feels very rough. And to synergize more with Tailwind, you would like to have as much evasion as possible. So maybe exploring a world where I can go into acrobatics might be a thing, which would make you evade all hits, so even AoE hits, but it gives you 70% less evasion rating. This might be something I explore, or I'll still continue going into kind of hybrid evasion and armor a little bit. I also tested a variant where I tried increasing my max res as much as possible, going unnatural resilience, and also going into Prism Guard. But yeah, this is basically... These are my thoughts. I think AoE is good. I went with more AoE on some jewels, so you can get stun buildup and AoE. I really also like the setup on Explosive Shot, which has auto reload. So basically, while you are mapping, you never reload, and then you would only reload really against bosses. So you never consume mana, and that is, yeah, my preferred way of playing it. But I am very interested in testing what Palsaron has been cooking as well. So I know he's playing it as well. Funnily enough, we both played Explosive Ballista in last Epoch when it released, and now we're both playing kind of Explosive Shot in Path of Exile 2, which is to me quite funny, but it is what it is. Anyways, Palsaron's video link is going to be down below as well. Highly suggest looking into it. Has some very interesting synergies with the 3 Dragons Mask, which makes your fire damage from hits contribute to shock instead, your cold to ignite, and your lightning to freeze. So you will be freezing a bit, you will be shocking a bit, you will... Shock also increases our damage by 20% by default, and then you can increase the shock magnitude as well to get more damage. There's a lot to explore there, and I think that is where my build is going to path towards. Like, I am going to path towards the 3 Dragon Mask version and see what we can do with that. It also feels more fantasy-like to do the crossbow shots, and it doesn't consume much mana either. Yeah, overall, that is where I think I'm going with the build. I don't have a full-on passive tree for anything I'm doing right now because I'm not completely sure where is the best to go. I'm still testing a lot. I know that my clear is completely fine. It's just a matter of finding the single target that will feel the best, and not only in terms of damage, but in terms of like how you deal your damage. Can you deal your damage in a safe way without being just a sitting duck? Or yeah, and also the tankiness of the build in higher tier maps it's very important to cap your chaos res. So that I will say, cap your chaos res, absolutely. It's a necessity. What killed me the most were undeath effects, so you must be very wary of undeath effects, and some of them are chaos. So yeah, highly suggest capping your chaos res. And yeah, I'll keep playing, I'll keep experimenting, and I'll keep you guys posted as to what I find to be my preferred version. And that's gonna be it for today, guys. So I hope you enjoy. Go watch Volka's video if you want to go with hammer, Ignite Hammer. Go take a look at Palsteron's video if you want to take a look at the Shockburst round version as well. This is looking good. It's looking like to be a very, very good blaster build. Probably not the tankiest out there, but certainly a very good mapper. So hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.